I'll tell you what, though. Remember, Andy, we went out Tuesday of last week because it was going to be 86, and Wednesday of last week it was supposed to be 92, 93 here at Great Falls. So we went out Tuesday, and we did our Buffalo Jump video where I actually went to the Buffalo Jump and actually jumped off a cliff. If you haven't seen it yet, it is the video right before this one on YouTube. And we went out because we didn't want to get roasted on Wednesday. And then Thursday, the floodgates opened, and we have been raining since Thursday. It's Monday, October 3rd. We've been raining since Thursday. It's cleared up a little bit. It's still spattering as of this morning. And it kind of puts a damper on things. We needed the rain, Andy, but I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. We were talking about this in the hallway about the NFL, and I said, well, we got some stuff planned, and the NFL, and National Football League has been known for quite a long time now as the No Fun League. And, I've got a couple things. I'm pissed off for a couple reasons, Andy. I'll tell you what. First of all, as of the 2020 NFL year, there is no longer free streaming of games. I used to have the app, Yahoo. Yahoo Sports used to have all my regional football games, and I could watch the Thursday night game, the Sunday games, the Sunday night game, and then the other Sunday, all Monday night, Thanksgiving, all of those games. Now, as of this year, it's no longer. Everybody was cutting the cord. Everybody was cutting the cord and watching it on TV. So, what did the No Fun League do? Okay? First of all, if you want to watch the NFL, it's on apps. It's on Hulu. It's on YouTube Plus, NFL Plus, Game Day Plus. When I say plus always means money. Okay? For the cable providers or whatever, for the app providers. Games are disappearing. Andy, the games are no longer TV. There's a lot of games that as a consumer, as a fan, you're not going to get unless you're paying, period. I used to be able to watch the same games on Yahoo Sports as were on my television, and now longer it's blacked out. So now I got to pay for it. The Thursday night games that used to be on NBC, and it was Thursday night game, and before that it was ABC, Andy, and it's been on for 25 years, Thursday night football, I think. It is no longer on network TV. Why? It is on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is the only way you can get it. That's Jeff. Is it Bezos? Bezos? One of the richest men in the world. What does he do? He buys the NFL rights to put it on Amazon Prime so nobody can watch it on TV anymore. As for ESPN, ABC, and Disney, and them teabaggers that I've all riled up and down and up and down, last year there were no bowl games on television. No national playoff games, no national championship college games. It was all on ESPN. Said it was on ABC/ESPN, but if you wanted to watch it, you had to have ESPN. But wait, there's more. Just downloading the ESPN app does not mean you're going to get the games. No. I have known people, I didn't do it myself, but I've read reviews that nowhere in the user agreement does ESPN say that you have to have a cable provider. And if I have ESPN cable, why the fuck do I want your app to watch the game on? Well, you might be away from the house. Not going to pay $50 for a maybe. So, first of all, the No Fun League, the streaming, everybody's streaming, Netflix, Paramount Plus. Did you hear it? Andy, Kevin Costner is the governor of Montana. According to Yellowstone, Kevin Costner is now, anyway, see what I mean? Paramount Plus. I don't watch Yellowstone because I cut the cord because I was going to save money. So I'm not going to get Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube Plus, Paramount Plus, CBS Plus, NFL Plus, MLB Plus. Oh! Jesus Christ, man. They're choking us to death. In the NFL, they're prime offenders. We're going to cover the situation with Miami briefly here. Quarterback, and I Googled how to say this, and it came up that I'm going to have his first name easy. His last name is pretty difficult, even if you have it phonetically out there. So we're going to call, his name is Tua Tagovailoa. So I'm going to call him Tua. He's quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. He used to play for Alabama. He won a national championship with Alabama. He was a top draft choice. Let's run you down, okay? Today is Monday, October 3rd. Last Sunday, not yesterday, October 2nd, but last Sunday, Miami was playing Buffalo. Okay, Miami was playing Buffalo. Tua was hit by Bills linebacker Matt Milano, who incidentally got a flag on the play. He was hit pretty. Tua's a Hawaiian, so he was hit like a sumo. What are Hawaiian? What are they do the hey. They do the chanting thing. He was chanting all right. He got hit. I watched the game. Okay, Buffalo, interesting team. I have an interest in the Bills. His bell was rung. He got up, staggering, wobbly knees, eyes rolled back into his head. He actually hit the ground and was crawling. Okay? He has got into the concussion protocol tent. Okay, a little tent they put him in. He is cleared by halftime. Okay? Doctors have been reprimanded. Doctors have been fired. This and that. It was on national TV. I watched it. Okay, I watched the game. It's like, well, shit. Bills got a game this last Thursday. They had the Sunday and Thursday game, so they're not going to play him in second half. But sure as shit, they played him. He didn't look as sharp. So we're going to fast forward to last Thursday. Remember, this is Monday, October 3rd, so we're like last Thursday. Now we're last Thursday. Tua was in a quarterback situation. They were playing in Cincinnati. Josh Tupou was a defensive lineman. It was a legal hit but the way that he landed, he kind of, he whiplashed into the ground. Tua did. This is the guy that had the concussion on Sunday in front of the whole world, and the NFL denied it. They were too busy chasing Brady for deflated balls or something. Okay, so he got hit. He went down. He did the hit thing, and then he laid there, and his hands were, if you haven't seen it, there's video everywhere. His hands were like contorted, like this. It was like, doctors said it was a obvious brainstem injury. Miami, of course, backpedaled, said he's fine. Tua's released a statement, said he's fine. I'm not buying it. I watched both games. I'm not buying it. I said I watched both games. I know I'm beating that into your heads, but I know football. I know when a guy's hurt. He was hurt Sunday against Buffalo. Shouldn't have been in the game. So, Tua, I have some advice for you. I know that you've probably got a lot of advice. Doctors, online, everywhere, all the news, sports tickers that I got say that you got your bell rung pretty severely and maybe had a spinal. This like contorting and uncontrollable is not a normal behavior. It's like, I was having brunch and I ate some eggs and all of a sudden, no. Okay? Get fucked up, dude. First of all, I wouldn't play again the rest of the year. And second of all, I'd never play for fucking Miami again. They sold you out, dude. They sold everybody out. It was just another blatant NFL, screwing with you kind of things that they do. It's always with the National Football League, the No Fun League, it's always money over safety, money over safety. You don't believe me? Look at neurodegeneration. It's called CTE. It took them, 12 years of studies and complaints and people saying, getting hit in the head all the time it'll tend to fuck you up, man. NFL's like, no, shit, they're fine. What was it, Goodell, Roger at the time. Okay, no, they're all good. They weren't all good. Took them movies, embarrassment, suicides. 2017 study done by the NFL showed that in deceased, because they can't find it until you're dead. So there's behaviors to look for, behaviors like Aaron Hernandez. Everybody's like, Aaron Hernandez was a thug, he was a gangbanger, and he did all stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And it's not necessarily true if you look at the autopsy results. They say that Aaron Hernandez had some of the worst CTE that doctors had ever seen. And one of the things that you have with CTE is you're violent, you act out, you're spousal, you're beating okay? And so his brain showed that it was 90% of the brains that were sampled. Andy, I don't know how many, what do we got here? Let me look. 97, it was a 2007 study. They had 30 some odd brains, so 80% of 30 that they've found so far. And that was just that study. 2017 is, there's math again, was 5 years ago, so there, And it's only natural that this would have occurred. It's only logical. I played Little Grizzly football, as I've mentioned, and I played with Chris Nord and Mark McQuirk and all the Missoula kids of that era, Jim Schmidt and Mark Johnson and Mark Lyman and, Mike Dorfler, Mike Lyman. We all played Little Grizzly together. Okay, we're knocking heads then. That's 7th and 8th grade. Then we're playing high school football. Okay, and so that's 4 years more. And then some people went to professional, to college next. And then they're playing for the Grizz or for Michigan, Go Blue or somebody. Okay, and then there's 4 more years. Okay, now they're in the pros. The names of suicides, they're Steve McNair, Mike Webster, Kenny McKinley, Jovan Belcher, Junior Sale linebacker. Here's one of my Philip Adams. Adams, and I did mention Aaron Hernandez. So it's the no fun league. They got penalties for excessive celebrations. It's money before safety. They're going to cover up the CTE scandals. Tua wasn't hurt. Tua was bad. Look at the films. He was wrung by Buffalo. Should have never been playing 4 days later, yet here he was doing the posturing in front of everybody. Well, no, not everybody, because the game was only on Amazon Prime, so you could only get it because the richest man of the world that owns Amazon says, fuck everybody that watches it for free, you got to pay. So if you were used to watching it, and I watched my news feed, Andy, on Facebook, people were crazy. Where's the games? Jeff. Oh, Jeff. You ever know, people that named Jeff? Like Jeff Bezos, Jeff Epstein. They're like dicks. People... Andy, speaking of dicks, what about Ian? God, that was a pretty walk-in, Yeah. Hurricane Ian wrecking havoc through the Atlantic this past weekend. If you don't know, if you live under a rock, it was a large, and when I say large, it was a freaking huge, devastating Class 4 Atlantic hurricane. It wreaked havoc. And through its cycle, it went through Trinidad and Tobago, Venezuela, Colombia, Jamaica, Cuba, U.S., mainly Florida and the Carolinas. Man, it's been on the news. The devastating effects of this one are bad. We've got, as of this morning, Andy, are these good? These are good? Okay. We got over. Okay, we're going to call it over 2.3 million still without power. That's Florida and the coastal Carolinas. The costliest, they're saying, as far as costly hurricanes in history, it's it. It is the big one. Of course, Andy, they always say, this one's the big one. This is it. This is the money one. You're like sitting there, you're having brunch. It's like, oh my God, it's costly. 55 to 65 billion in the United States alone. I've been watching stuff coming in the newsreels and shit. It's bad. There's alligators in people's houses. People have lost family members. We don't have good numbers, even this morning, on fatalities and the death toll and all of that. But what I'm seeing is hundreds hundreds. There are ways to help. Everybody's like, well, what can I do? You know, I mean, they're in Florida. What can I do? Well, okay, let me give you a few ways. Now, I'm not going to, you're going to have to look these up, and I'm going to throw some shit at you, okay? My research right here says you can call any of these places that I give you, you can call or look up on a website. Okay, on an app. Get on your browser on Google Chrome. Please don't tell me you're still using Google Chrome. Please, okay? Get DuckDuckGo, get some privacy, get some tracking out of the way, okay? The Florida Disaster Fund, the Catholic Charities of Miami and South Florida, Feeding Florida, American Red Cross, Florida Blue, Save the Animals, South Florida. Check all of these places, or beware scams. Florida needs money. I need money for brunch. Send money to this guy on, Green Dot. No. Check for scams. It's free, okay? All you got to do if you got a charity, put in the Better Business Bureau, put it in, okay? If it doesn't come up, go to the next place. That's called a charity navigator. Again, that's a charity navigator. Put it in there. If it doesn't come up with either place, don't deal with it. Lastly, you can help social media. I'm thinking, Andy, don't you think? I have viewers in Florida. I have friends on Facebook in Florida. Okay? There's dogs that need to be shipped up here or people that need help. Message me. I know people in Florida. I know who you are. I'm not going to call you out by name. I just know who you are. So if you need me, you know where I'm at. All right? Social media. That's a way to do it. Even if you don't know anybody there, you can watch social media, but watch again for scams, okay? It's watch for scams. I like to go with people I know and stuff that hits both the Better Business Bureau and the Charity Navigator. If you can hit all of that, yeah, I'm good. I'm really good. That's the way to go. Andy, speaking of way to go, no, speaking of not the way to go, I bash this all the time, but Vladimir Putin has gone fucking bonkers. Andy, can you say, I'm online, I can say fucking bonkers. He's just, if you're watching videos of him, he looks bad. He looks poorly. He looks like I did before I quit drinking. Those last 6 months before I quit drinking, I looked like Putin. Putin looked like that. Bad. Okay? Now, first of all, what's going on? And we got news, because this has been going on all since last I saw you guys. And I was just last time, I'm speculating, and I'm bad at Putin, and I'm going to get my fuck Putin shirt on again, and whatever. Okay, first of all, they ran a sham election since last Monday, and they had elections in 4 of the Ukrainian territories that they took, maybe, or not took. We'll get to that. They took, it's Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zappa schizophrenia. Okay? And they had, I said schizophrenia. I don't know Russian, and schizophrenia. Look, my notes look like schizophrenia. So they ran these elections where people supposedly voted and said, yes, we want to be part of Mother Russia. Okay? These elections were done at gunpoint. They were done, they were just done. They were sham elections. Okay? Nothing real about them. Threats of violence, people voted then were shot. Now the problem with these elections is that they violate international law, which means you can't take a territory and then while that territory is disputed, you're like, well, yeah, we're good. You take all your marbles and go move. We're going to go somewhere else. It's like, no, wait, fuck you, man. You know, it's like if you get in a fight and hit someone, then like, all right, it's over. You can't hit me back. Like, not only am I going, can I hit you back, but I'm going to hit you back. So Russia does not. First of all, they do not fully militarily control any of these regions. Any of the four regions, military hostilities are still ongoing. And as of this morning, well, it was yesterday, but the late Saturday night, Andy, early Sunday morning. I don't know how international time works. I think it was in 1994. No, it doesn't work well. Okay. Ukrainian troops took back Lyman, which is in the far part, I mean the eastern part of Donetsk? So, and chased all the troops out of Donetsk. So, to make more confusing was the 37-minute speech that he, and that's on YouTube too, and there's translation, thanks God. Because Andy, the first one I was getting was Russian, and I was like, what? What the hell? What is he saying? He's talking Russian, and there's a 37-minute speech he spoke at the Kremlin in front of everyone in celebration of the annex and the election that I was just talking about, the sham elections, which while he was damn near still speaking, the city of Lyman was falling back into the Ukraine. He spoke of the old Soviet Union, the Western colonial policy. He talked about nuclear weapons and how he will use them now, and his view of Western morals. His speech said that he will defend our land, including the four newly annexed territory that they presently control, which again they don't fucking control, with any apart motherland Russia with all available, including nuclear. He talked about the fall of the Soviet Union in this speech and how that he wants to bring it back to its glory of the Cold War area and the Berlin Wall. He's blaming the West. He's blaming the West for the Nord Stream pipeline leak that's in the Baltic, which Russia actually sabotaged and did, according to every report out there. It's not like a big mystery. I wonder who did that, you know? Well, I think it could have been Putin. He went on about Western imperialization. We're the only nation in the world to use a nuclear weapon, and now we're like, oh no, no one can use them, and we're gonna. We built our nation on the slave trade. Our nation is all hooked on drugs. Our Western morals, we care more about trans rights, gay rights, and abortion rights than we do about human rights in our country and patriotism. I didn't say that. He said that. He went on to reiterate that any interference with the four newly annexed territories would result in nuclear weapons. He's been not kidding this time. As of this viewing, as of right now, Ukraine's taken back, at least half of what was supposedly voted on illegally in violation of international law. He's just, it's concerning to me because I've been calling it all along, saying this is like a lot seriouser than most people. Andy, is there a word, lot seriouser? Serious shit, Putin. It's crazy. It's nuts. We just need to just keep an eye on that. You know, the arguments everywhere. It's like, well, we shouldn't be in Ukraine. If NATO falls, we fall. Okay? The United States can't stand by themselves. Okay, as much as the patriots and everybody wants to say you're wrong, you know, we're a great nation, we can stand by ourselves. No, we can't. We cannot. So we're not. It's not the 50s anymore. We have to support NATO because NATO falls, we fall. We get all of our goods from China. What are we, number one? I don't know what the video was, Andy. I did a podcast. We were number one in what? Incarceration, obesity, and something else. I mean, nothing that counts. Not militarily, that's for sure. If the world ganged up, if NATO fell, and China and Russia, but China's even backing away from Russia right now. So, you know, Andy, this weekend, Saturday Night Live, season 48, which, for me, I remember watching the original not ready for primetime players on a black and white TV. In the basement, right after graduation, and that fall, it seems like yesterday, Andy. I mean, the original was October 11th, 1975 was the original air date, and the original cast was, of course, Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Chevy Chase, Jane Curtin, Gilda Radner, Lorraine Newman, and Garrett Morris. Bill Murray came 2 seasons later. So, you know, it's like when I see that, they're like, yeah, we're on season 48. I'm like, holy shit. So, yeah, time. Oh, Annie's giving me time. I'm reminiscing about Dan Aykroyd and the original ready for prime time players. It does, though, Annie. It seems like just yesterday. So, we're going to have to Andy, I got you. All right, I got you. We're going to have to get out of here. So, with things escalating in the Ukraine, and I've been calling it along, we've been trying to tell you to do your duck and cover drills. Personally, I'm not going to duck and cover. They're like, yeah, there's nukes coming. What are you going to do, hide in the freaking basement? Be scared? I mean, it's like, I'm thinking rolling a fatty and sitting out on the patio watching the nukes, missiles come in. First of all, it's going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity, okay? It's not like you're going to get a second chance to do this. Duck and cover. Remember, Andy, in New York, they're what? They go inside and they hide under like the coffee table or the end table, dinner table. I'm going out the patio. You can duck and cover. Remember to kiss your dogs, adopt, don't shop, rescue, empty the shelters, get involved. Kiss your dog, Andy. That's it. All right, isn't it? We got to go. So till next Monday, everybody. We are out of here.